Hi guys, the second half of the factorising quadratic monic trinomials video. So these questions 7 onwards, they look a bit more complicated. So what these actually do is tie together all your factorisation techniques that you've learned in the last 2 chapters. So they can look a bit daunting. You just have to remember all the different ways you can factorise. So the idea is to factorise and simplify. So you're cancelling out terms top and bottom usually. Look, I'll show you how these work. You have to remember highest common factor, perfect difference of two squares, and monic trinomial. Okay, so let's look at this first example here, factorise and simplify. The top one is a monic trinomial. So what we're looking at is, we'll do the top line first. So we're looking at factors of -6 that add up to -1. Okay, so think of the factors of 6. You've got 1 and 6. You've got 2 and 3. 2 and 3. Okay, now remember in the last video I said if the last number is negative, one of those will be negative. Okay, we're looking to add together to get -1. So I would say that it's going to probably be the second pair here. And if we make if we make -2 and 3, which multiply to get a -6, you're going to get an answer. If you add those together, you're going to get +1. So it's going to have to be the opposite. Okay, so you're going to have -3 and +2. Okay, if you add those together, you get -1. Okay, so the top line will be x minus 3 and x plus 2 all over x plus 2. Okay, so what you'll find in these, the aim of these is to simplify this. These are all kind of set up to show you that there's an x plus 2 factor up here and there's 1 down here. So what you can actually do is divide everything by x plus 2. So top and bottom by x plus 2. So that cancels that out. In effect is what we're doing. And we're left with x minus 3. Okay, in brackets. So that's what you're doing. They end up being, if you can't factorise, if you can't cancel something out, more often than not you've done something wrong. So just be aware of that. They usually end up quite simple. So for example, this one, it looks a bit crazy, but now we have to remember all our rules. Okay, so what you might have, you have a look at this, and you might recognise this as a difference of 2 squares. So that's a dots. Okay, this one and this one are both monic. Alright, so I'll write monic there. That's a monic 2. And this last one down here, I'll put in a different colour again, is a highest common factor, 1. Okay, so there's a lot that can go wrong in this one, so you have to be really, really good at all these different techniques. Look, I'm not going to go through, I won't go through each one how to do the technique. I'm just going to do it to show you how that works. Hopefully you've got enough skill base to do these individually. But I will tell you that's a dot. So the first one there, x squared minus 9 factorises to x minus 3x plus 3. Hopefully you can see that that is a difference of 2 squares. And this one here is a monic. So the second number, the last number, factors of that have to add up to -2. So you think of factors of -15 and that add up to 2. So 3 and 5. Okay, one of them has to be negative. So 3 and 5. To get a negative answer, my negative is going to have to be on the 5. So I'm going to have -5. Oops, should be in blue, but it doesn't matter. X plus 3. Okay, so -5 times 3 is 15. -5 plus 3 is -2. Okay, and what you should be finding is that hopefully you can see that this and this will cancel out. Okay, if you're not getting cancelling out, you're probably doing something wrong. Keep that in mind. Let's turn that off. The top one there is a monic as well. Factors of 5. Let's think of factors of 5 here, or -5. The only factors of 5 are 5 and 1. Okay, one of them has to be negative to give a negative sum. Okay, when we add them, the negative is going to have to be on the 5. Okay, so that's my factor pair. Alright, so on the top line, x minus 5 x plus 1. Okay, now finally, this highest common factor one down here. My highest common factor of 2x and negative 6 is 2. Okay, so I'm going to take out a 2 from the brackets. And what I've got left is x minus 3. Okay, so you should start to see, okay, that there's things on top and bottom we can cancel. So for example, I've got this x plus 3. Now, I could go through and multiply top and top, bottom and bottom, but the idea is to go, well, I can cancel that with that. Okay, you can only do top and bottom. You can only cancel top and bottom, not top and top. Be aware of that. I can also cancel this x minus 3 because there's one down here. There's also an x minus 5 up top and bottom, here and here. And so we're cancelling them out. So that, you can put lines through them if you want. And what you're left with is actually not much at all. On the top line, these are all 1s by the way. You're cancelling, you're leaving 1s, not nothing. Okay, so 1 times 1 times 1, 1 times 1 times 1 times x plus 1 is x plus 1. Okay, on the bottom you've got 1 times 1 times 2 times 1, which is just 2. Okay, so it's a little bit messy, but you get the idea. So they look very complicated, but remembering all your factorising rules, you usually get a lot of things that cancel out. Just be aware of that. And if you're not getting them cancelling out, you're probably doing something wrong. So you have to check your arithmetic or your process. Okay, so that's how you do the second half of 5C. All right, so have a go at some of those questions, and good luck.